All right. So this has been a long time coming. I know that it doesn't seem that way, or there's no way you'd be able to tell that considering the content of this channel over the past years and, just kind of inconsistent. But, I feel like I needed to finally talk about this and finally get it off my chest because it's something that I've been very passionate about as I've been getting into the hobby of Warhammer 40,000. The big 40k. And it has to do with my favorite faction of the system, the lore, and everything in between. The Mechanicus. Adeptus Mechanicus. And how there seems to be a pseudo Martian Civil War, the second take going on right now, where people just can't stop ragging on the 40k Mechanicus range for some reason, and it's just getting worse and worse. And as somebody that adores the 40k Mechanicus range, and it hits every box and ticks them all, for me, it's something I need to talk about. And I know it's all just personal preference. This is all subjective in the end, of course. I'm not here to tell you that you are objectively right, or I'm objectively right, or both wrong. I just want to talk about how it seems like the fundamental design philosophy of 40k Mechanicus versus 30k Mechanicum is not properly understood or, engaged with. Also, this is off the cuff. I've talked about this in my head a billion times, and a script has just kept me from expressing my true feelings, because honestly, I'm a little mad. I'm a little angry, seeing it all the time, consistently on social media, and just people talking about it, and people ragging on 40k Mechanicus versus 30k Mechanicum. I just want to talk about why I think the 40k Ad Mech range is so misunderstood, and why it seems like people feel in saying they should just add everything from 30k and that would immediately make it better. And I just want to, get into that and sort of explain why I think that it isn't the best idea, and why I think that in terms of the sort of the modern ideals of the Adeptus Mechanicus are better portrayed, obviously, in the 40k range, and why they're so different. I forget who it was. There's someone at Games Workshop who's been there since like the 90s, brought up where they talk about they make a faction for people to love, not for everyone to like. And that really stuck with me. If anyone can find, it was one of the like OGs, I'm pretty sure, that was still there and said that. And I feel like nothing embodies that more than 40k Ad Mech. As somebody who loves cyborgs and body horror, this faction immediately grabbed me when I was getting into the faction, when I was getting into the game, and just figuring out what army I wanted to bring to the table. And I saw Ad Mech, and it was pretty much love at first sight. I learned about their lore, and it made me love them even more. I love how evil they are. In any other setting, these dudes would be some of the most, like, these would be the villains. Let's be real. Like, they're pushing people into volcanoes to power their factories that turn people into lobotomized slaves. Like, very rarely can you be more evil than that. But besides the point, I feel like there's this misunderstanding as to what 40k Mechanicus is supposed to be, which is cyborg body horror. It's supposed to be spindly. It's supposed to look industrial, mean, and very, very, like, supposed to invoke this feeling of disgust. And this is weird, like, oh, that's not right when you look at these models. And you look at the art. And 30k Mechanicum has a completely different aesthetic for a reason. Let's get into that. 30k Mechanicum is very robot focused, except for the Myrmidons. Everyone talks about the Myrmidons. I agree, the Myrmidons should be in 40k. Did you know that, at least as far as I can tell, the Myrmidons are not mentioned in any 30k novel or Black Library book, but they're mentioned in every 40k Mechanicus book? It's like, Guy Haley, we get it. You can keep rubbing it in. Like, just go ahead. Like, feed me more what I'll never have, which puts Myrmidons in every Mechanicus story. I understand. I think they're cool too. I get it. But yeah, besides the Myrmidons, I feel like 30k Mechanicum is very automata focused and very, like, it has a different art style completely from 40k Mechanicus. They are very different. And they have so much... There's obviously a reason for that. It's 10,000 years in the past and future. And if you look at 30k Mechanicum, I want you to, like, really look at this. Our first thing is the Thalax. These are cyborgs. Combat cyborgs. Qatari turned into these. Now, one thing why I prefer 40k Mechanicus is that our body horror cyborgs look like body horror cyborgs. If you look at the Thalax, I can't tell that that's a cyborg. This is just a, like, chunky, kind of space marine silhouette. Like, this doesn't give robot. Or this doesn't give cyborg. This gives robot. Really much. Like you look at this, and this, if you didn't know, you'd say that's a robot. Got the arm cannon. The poses are also very static, very automata, very just chilling, standing there, like extremely static poses. They don't give you anything that would let you know that this is a cyborg, that this was a person at one point. And I feel that is something I don't like about the 30k Mechanicum range. Very smooth, very clean, not a lot of tell on the body horror. Obviously, if you look up the lore and everything, and there's that one rad-ass piece of art that shows that they're the screaming skull behind the faceplate. And all that they would need to change is just to have, like, the clear plastic and the screaming skull behind it. But they intentionally didn't do that. Because I think the 30k Mechanicum designers know that the style of 30k Mechanicum is that smooth, is that, you know, not as body horror cyborgy as 40k. It is a different aesthetic. It is a different feel. And that's fine. But please don't just say, man, 40k Mechanicus designs are so ass compared to 30k. They're different design philosophies, guys. Can we not? You look at... Now, let's look at the Sicarians. Let's look at the Sicarians, Ruststalkers, Infiltrators. Let's look at them. What do you see when you look at this? One, more dynamic posings. You cannot argue that. These poses are more dynamic. The predatory stance, the crazy tri-jointed legs, the way that they look just is way more aggressive and way more weird. This silhouette, if I saw this in a back alley at night, like you see a Space Marine at night in an alley, like that's just a big dude. That's a really big dude, I should say. That's not just a big dude, that's a really big dude. But I'm like, I can put together that's a dude. If I saw a Sicarian in like silhouette in a back alley, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably shit myself. That's terrifying. Are you kidding me? That doesn't look... Keep in mind, these dudes are also like as big as Space Marines. Like in terms of tallness. Like that is a nightmare creature. I would say, sir, I think I saw some sort of a demon. You saw what? And you describe it and then you get killed on the spot because you're like, that sounds like a demon to me. But I'm getting off topic. I'm getting passionate. I mean, this is a passionate subject for me, but let's look at their design. Notice the body glove at the edges of like their arm and leg stumps. You know, it looks like fabric. Probably wouldn't have that if you were a robot. The fabric is very telling of their humanity that they've lost. Like there's still a bit of skin maybe, or synth skin, you know, keeping them intact. Like maybe it's harder to fully go metallic and just be a full robotic body. cool detail, or it could just be that, you know, you're saving costs. Budget is a thing. And also, important detail, the tubes going from their chest, their torso, into their face, their head, because their head's just a gas mask body, basically. Like, that's all it is. But, yeah, that tube is a design storytelling piece. It is the final piece in the puzzle to tell you that this used to be a person. This is not a robot. This was a man or woman that has been completely turned into this creepy, spindly, brutal combat cyborg. They just look mean. They look disgusting. They look creepy. This is a person. This was a person. It technically still is, but man, it has got so much more telling you that this was a person than the Thalax design. Completely different design philosophies. This is not me calling out the Thalax that you can't love the Thalax. And the Thalax does look cool, but to me it looks more generically cool. Whereas the Sicarians look... They just look so mean. Like, these motherfuckers, these motherfuckers look like the type of guy to just drop on you and just shank you 30 times in 2 seconds. Which they do, by the way. The Thalax, like, that just screams, like, slow move and shoot you. Same with the Sicarian Infiltrators. Like, the Space MP7 that they've got. It's like, you open the door, like, what's going on in here? Just get sprayed. Just real quick. Like, these dudes look fast. They look like they can rotate their body 360 degrees. Mobile. Like, whereas the Thalax, and even the Ursarak's a bit more dynamic, but, man, there's something about this silhouette that just screams Speed Demon and screams just, I don't want to fight that thing. I don't think I could hit that thing. And all the plugs and ports, the freaking like giant mess of tubes going into the Princeps of the Ruststalkers. Like, why you need all that, bro? What are you huffing? I hope it's good. Because they're in constant pain, by the way. They give themselves concussions every second. That's just, you know, just add to the horror a little bit. These guys got CTE hardcore. And another thing about 30k Mechanicum versus 40k Mechanicus. Like, being the robot focused. 40k has the Castellan robots, which everyone loves. Everyone loves the Castellan robots. If you don't like the robots, like, who are you? And why? They're great. They're such a send-up to, like, those old sci-fi serials. We're talking Flash Gordon and shit. They're perfect. And they show what the Mechanicus has lost. They are a reminder of what has been locked away in the vaults of Olympus Mons. And just the past that we can never attain again. Which is... It's great. It serves a great purpose. Like, the Castellan should not be removed from 40k. But I do think just adding in all the 30k robots to 40k would compromise the design process of 40k. Like, this sleek, very smooth-edged robot aesthetic is not what 40k Mechanicus seems to be about. It's clearly not. Like, we don't have these for a reason. It's intentional. Like, if the Mechanicus just had all their combat automata again, then it's like, well, then what have we, like, it doesn't really feel like we've been regressing very much, have we? Would it be nice to have more variety? Of course. I want more data sheets. I think everyone does, until they have too many, and Ad Mech does not have too many. 3 of them are the same plane that is unusable this edition, and one of them is a version of the Dragoons that is just there to be T7 7 wounds and die. So yeah, there's definitely, you know, I wouldn't say no to more data sheets, but I do think it would compromise the artistic style of 40k Mechanicus. And another thing about 40k versus 30k, because people look at the tanks and the Karachnos and the Triros and all them, that this is gonna be a very like, oh, you nerd, you huge ass nerd, you're really thinking about all this stuff, but I think it's important. I think it should be stated. One thing that I think makes 40k Mechanicus so unique, and why I think 30k Mechanicum feels very samey, like the robots are just kind of like scale up, scale up, scale up. Like they don't, like the 40k Castellan robots feel special because they're the only ones in the 40k setting that are like that. But then 30k, it's like, well, those kind of just look like you're just like raising the height and adding a little bit each time. And one thing to mention here is the propulsion systems on vehicles. So all of the 30k Mechanicum tanks are treaded. There's treads. Like, anyone can have treads, right? Everyone in 30k and 40k has treads still on their tanks, except for the Space Marines having the grav plates, which I think is cool, but apparently, you know, that's a hit or miss for Space Marine players. But I think they're cool. But most people have treads, especially the Militarum, and, you know, I don't want to be compared to the Militarum. No disrespect, but we should be distinct. And just having them be on treads feels like such a miss. Because if you look at 40k, all of our vehicles have different methods of propulsions. Like, oh, you guys have treads on your tank. No, here's a hover tank. That's a hover tank. Oh, our other tank, it's got crab legs. Which I'm like, that's just better. It can climb over buildings. It can just clang and just stick on a building. And just chill on the side of a building and just shoot you. Or climb over one. It gives it a completely different, unique method of movement that actually fits for how this crazy, wacky group of mad scientists, even though they don't want to call themselves scientists, tech priests are. It's great. Our other gun platform. Oh, surely treads. No, 2 legs. 2 huge chicken legs, raptor legs, whatever you want to call them. You just stick a gun on top of it, and it runs around, and it can't stop moving. Okay, well, surely then your infantry is on 2 legs too, right? No, the infantry is the one that gets the tank treads. We put the dudes on the tank treads. Like, that's so good. I love it so much. It's so insane. Why? I love the Cataphrons. I love servitors. The servitors were one of the selling points. I'm so happy we have servitors back. But I feel like that's such an interesting detail with the Mechanicus. Like, we can't decide. Everything, we're just kind of throwing things together. Old tech mixed with new tech. And just everything in between being this absolute mass of nonsense that we somehow make work. Like, people hate the Scatros or love the Scatros. I'm going to the Scatros now because they're like, man, look at 30k Mechanicum. Look at how tough they look. Look at how this looks like it's fit for combat. Actually, combat cyborgs. It's like, I'm not here for 40k Ad Mech to look at something and say, oh, that totally looks like it would fit for combat. That's efficient. No, I'm here because I found a space blueprint that told me how to make a thing, and that clearly means that thing must be really good, and I'm gonna make it work. That's the Ad Mech I like. Like the Scatros. That was an STC or something. Like, we found it. It's just a dude on stilts. Like, it doesn't even look collapsible. Like, are those special stilts? Just give him a sniper rifle, I guess. And what's crazy is that Ad Mech loves efficiency. That's their most important thing. Efficiency dips by 0.3%. Kill somebody. Kill the person that let the efficiency dip 0.3%. You know what that tells me? The Scatros is efficient. This dude. This dude, this lady, this they, them with the stilts is apparently a hyper efficient sniper. And it's like, it's the absurdity of that. It's the idea that this dude is just apparently a absolute terror to the battlefield. Quake in fear whenever you look in the distance and you see a light gleaming off a light pole, because it ain't a light pole, and then you're dead. Like, oh, average, like, cultist. Like, what's that in the distance? I don't know, it's weird. It's like long leg. Like, let's get closer, figure out what that is. I still can't tell. Is that, that can't be a guy, right? That's not a gun. Like, boom, and you're dead. And then just over and over. Nobody gets to tell people that there was a dude with stilts that shot us because you don't miss. It's great. It's absurd. It's why I'm here for shit like that. Like, why would I care about something that looks like, oh man, this is the most combat efficient, combat capable looking thing. It's like, no, it's about making things that look crazy and weird. And then you have to think, oh wow, they have put their whole ass into making this weird ass contraption efficient in combat. I once again must state the absurdity of just sticking a torso on treads. Why? I mean, I guess if it's a heavy gun, you know what? Why am I questioning it? The guns are heavy, leg don't work. Put on treads. Apparently it's cheap. Apparently it's easy. Just throw them in there. Lobotomize a guy that has anger issues, by the way, and just throw them on tank treads. Like, oh, nice Space Marine. This is Joe from my Manufactorum. I just turned him into a Cataphren 2 hours ago. His work shift still technically isn't over. His family is waiting for him to get home for dinner. The food is still warm, and he's out here killing Space Marines for me. What a legend. Like, this is goofy shit. Like, why build all that time to make Thalax when I could just stick Joe from the Manufactorum onto tank treads and slap a big-ass gun on his shoulder? That is, I feel like, the perfect summation of 40k Ad Mech. Why spend the resources at this point? This is just efficiency. Throw bodies at the problem. I'm not here for smooth edges, big robots. I'm here for this dude that is like, I'm dying for the Omnissiah. This is great. The Machine God, that's my dude. Slap the high frequency blades of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance onto my arms. Send me in. I've got 30 concussions and it's only 9 a.m. That's a new record for me. I'm going. Just, yeah. I feel very strongly about this subject and why I prefer 40k Ad Mech to 30k Mechanicum, and why apparently most people do not agree with that, and why it's really the only faction I see this with where just people love to put it down. People love to put down 40k Ad Mech and say, this is so dumb, I hate this. And it's like, it's not for you, bro. It's just not for you. Can you shut up? Can you stop complaining? Because obviously people care about this range and people love it. It even blows my mind. You go on like social media and people that like go and comment on like, you know, like they go to like the subreddit for Ad Mech and are just there to complain about how all of the 40k Ad Mech models suck. It's like, do you actually play this? Did you get into this army just for robots? I'm sorry, I have to call you out. If you just saw the robots and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna get into this whole faction for the possibility of getting more units like this. Like, do not get into a faction unless what's already there is enticing to you. This is a, you do not have control over this. Like, the design team gets to make stuff, and then if you like it or you don't like it, now if it's in line with the design philosophy of the faction you're playing, most of the time you're probably gonna like it. So if you saw one model from an entire range and said, I only like that, so I'm gonna play the faction, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you can be better. That's fine. You can go do your own thing, I guess, but just stop complaining. Please. I'm so sick of it. I see it so often. Why? Why won't these people please just go play 30k Mechanicum if you love it so much? Just go. I don't get it. It wears on my soul that they cannot fathom that people would like 40k Mechanicum. It's like, oh man, 40k Mechanicum's models suck, right? Am I right, guys? And then upvote, and I'm like, dude, can we stop? Is this really where we're at? It just couldn't be me. It feels so weird to be in this space where we have such a unique range and every model looks amazing to me and just holds up super well and is entirely unique. There's nothing else in the world of 40k that looks like Ad Mech, and you have so many people that go out of their way to just shit on it. And like, it's just not for you. It's one of the ones that holds up most to the, this is made for a group of people. This is made for me. I adore it. I love it. Because feels like it was just aimed directly at my soul, who loves body horror, who loves cyborgs, and that sci-fi stuff, and loves just the insanity of just how crazily evil they can be, and justify it, and have, like, just no care in the world that they've lobotomized hundreds of people to turn them into a guy that can run the air conditioner. It's great. It's so evil, and I love it. And I don't want them to pivot into 30k Mechanicum style, because I just love what's here. I think it all looks great. I don't think there's a single bad model in this range, if I'm being completely honest. I think everything looks great. I love it all. But then I look at 30k Mechanicum, and I don't get it. I mean, I guess, I get it, but I don't like it nearly as much. It doesn't appeal to me. And obviously, like I said, all opinions. This is all opinion pieces. But I will still call out people for just, like, we get it. You know, you're appealing to all the people that don't play Ad Mech, who see 30k Mechanicum, and for a faction that they don't play because it doesn't vibe with what they like, they like the more far-reaching thing. They like the thing that reaches further rather than deeper. You know, there's a wider net that is cast by 30k Mechanicum, so more people will like it, obviously, than people who love 40k Mechanicus. And it's just the way it is. But I just get so tired of how many people who are supposedly Ad Mech fans that just shit talk half of the range of 40k Ad Mech, and I just can't. Like, somebody I saw the other day said they didn't like Call. Like, why are you in this faction if you don't like Call? Call might be one of the best models that Games Workshop has ever made in terms of just... It's like this and the Black Coach to me that are just peak of what Games Workshop can do with modeling for just being a faction mascot. I just don't understand how you could jump into this faction, spend money, and look at Call and say... Yeah, nah, he kind of sucks, though. Like, what do you like? Do you, like, oh, I'm here for the Tech Priest Dominus and just the Iron Striders. I like 2 models. Give me 2,000 points of that, baby. That's going to be hard, considering our current situation of points in this edition. But go ahead. I guess. What the fuck ever. This faction is... I want this fan base to be more united and more, you know, understanding of why people would like 40k Ad Mech's design decisions and what they stand for and the crazy weird spindliness and the industrial edge that it has where it looks like everything's leaking oil. It's like 30k Mechanicum is just different, and that's fine. It's intentionally done. I think there was literally somebody, it was like a community manager that said 40k and 30k Mechanicum have, the design teams have different goals. I think that's the only time I've ever seen a community manager just say, hey guys, shut the fuck up. Stop talking, and let me tell you why this isn't going to happen. And people were like, still ask. They still talk. Like, I get it. I get complaining is fun. It can be fun to just vent. I'm venting right now. I'm just... Oh, man. Just understand why somebody might love 40k Ad Mech and not really vibe with 30k Mechanicum. I just want... That's the reason I'm doing this. I want to just... This is, like I said, this video is unprofessional as hell. The setup is jank. I don't care. I just need to get my thoughts out there and just talk. Because I'm passionate about this stuff. I really do care. I love this army. Even this edition where we're getting absolutely beat on in terms of rules. Why the hell is the Skitarii little J-0N, little Skitarii John, survive the last barrage from a Soul Reaper cannon? And because little Skitarii John survived, does the Tech Priest, the Doom Crawler, the Electro Priest, and the Iron Strider all get +1 AP because they look over and see little Skitarii John and are like, oh man, he survived, I'm so happy, I'm gonna do better now for him. And he's just like, he's just standing there, and he provides our entire army with the ability to actually do damage this phase. Maybe. But that's another video. I'm gonna sign off, or maybe not. Maybe I forgot something and I'll have to record more. But thank y'all for listening, and if y'all like me ranting or want to hear more of what I have to say or what I want to think, or if you just hate me for what I said and calling you out, that's fine too. I guess just do what you want. Leave a like if you want. Comment, subscribe. I do want to make more stuff like this, probably more professional. But I'll see y'all around. Hey, yeah, future me checking in. I realized that I forgot to mention things like the Voltarax and Vorax automata when they're talking about how like all the robots look the same, because they do look different. They're the more interesting automata to me, for being honest, because they don't just look like big guy scaled up. But yeah, they're really cool. I wish they got more attention and love. They're still not in plastic yet, I don't think, which sucks. Also, things like the tech thralls. I know the tech thralls exist, but they're so similar to servitors to me in their style and design. They're like just a weird difference visually based on, like, you know, oh, we've got an arm cannon, this one's got an arm cannon, but got a weird face, and they look weird in a good way. I like them, but yeah, very similar to servitors, and servitors are just around in 30k and 40k. So yeah, just wanted to add that little side. I am aware of these things. Yeah. Anyway, all right, signing off for real this time.